to all of my cherry bombs. It is me, Cherry, and I'm back with a story time, which is ratchet. And I've actually recorded this story previously. If you hear any noise, my roommate's on the phone. But I recorded this story previously and I hated my whole look. So we're gonna do this again and hope that I tell it just as great this time around. But yes, I'm about to tell you guys why I feel like Miami is a portal for demonic activity and demonic energy, even though we're all going to continue to travel to Miami and go to Miami because it's fun, I guess. Like, what's a little demon time? So before we get into this story, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications because I'm sporadic with how I post, and then also give this video a thumbs up so that more people can find my content and content like mine. So before we get into this story time, my top is from Rich Girl Aesthetic. Kimora was nice enough to send me a couple pieces from her new boutique, and it is so freaking cute. I love this, and honestly all the pieces that she sent me were super cute. So you guys, black owned business, small black owned business, please go shop with her. She is on Instagram. I'm loving this top and I'm loving all the other pieces I was sent as well. And then my hair, this is the hair from Kimi John on Instagram. You guys always ask me about my hair, and that is the only person at this point that I get wigs from because the wigs are bomb. The lace is undetectable and they last literally forever. Like, every time I get a wig from Kimi, it's the only wig that I wear until I get my next one from him. So that is who this hair is from. This is 28 inches of just pure, I don't know, like, I just love it. I love it so much. But yes, so please go show them love. Put all their links below, and I'm about to tell you guys how I ended up throwing hands with a grown man in Miami. So recently, this actually was like 2 weeks ago, so I went down to Miami for one of my close childhood friends' weddings, and her wedding was actually in the Florida Keys, but then we ended up, myself and my best friend ended up doing, how do I even want to explain this? Okay, we flew down on a Thursday. Her wedding was on that Friday. Myself and my best friend spent Thursday through Saturday morning with the wedding party, had major fun. It was so beautiful, so sweet. And then that Saturday afternoon through Saturday night, myself and my best friend went to Miami to do the rest of our trip. And then I had 3 solo days in Miami after that. So I was in Miami for a minute. Like, I literally was in Florida for 6 days, so basically a week. So upon my best friend and I going to Miami on that Saturday, we drove down there, and the plan was to go out and party in Miami that night because my best friend, it was her first time in Miami. I think I said this in another video, y'all have not seen all of my best friends because not everybody likes to be on camera, but my best friend, if you do follow me on Instagram, you saw that that's who I was with down in Miami, so you know who I'm talking about. So for the sake of this video, because I don't know if she would want me to use her, if she would be okay with me using her name, and I'm sure she wouldn't care, but just in case, I'm gonna call her Yin, because she's the yin to my yang. So that's literally what I'm gonna call her. We are complete opposites and we work so well together. We literally balance each other out. That is the yin to my yang, so I'm gonna call her Yin. So myself and Yin, we decided that the plan was to party in Miami. We didn't have a specific place that we wanted to go because I had just looked up a whole bunch of places that we could party at that night because I am the party friend. So it was like my responsibility to find somewhere to party that night or whatever. Now the club that I really wanted to go to, you can only get into that club. It's called Mr. Jones. You can only get into Mr. Jones if you have reservations, like if you buy a bottle. And we were not from Miami. We definitely weren't buying a bottle because, no shade, but you get what you want when you pop in, and I'm not paying for no bottle when I can literally link up with some guys and they'll pay for the bottle and I don't have to spend my money. And then also from work and nightlife, I just know that it makes no sense to buy a bottle in the club. We didn't end up going to Mr. Jones, but I wanted to because it just looks so black and so fun. So we end up going to Story, y'all. And yes, I'm saying names because I don't give a damn. Saturday was our first day in Miami, but the way that our trip was set up, we did not have time to, like, you know how normally like you can go to a different city and you end up like, especially if it's somewhere like Miami, you can walk the strip, you meet people, whatever, they invite you out for the night and you just go with the flow that way. But we didn't end up walking the strip because our day was literally, we drove from the Keys, we went to this mansion called Vizcaya, I think that's how you pronounce it, or maybe it's Visca. Super beautiful, very worth it. It's like a mansion slash like museum. It's just really, really dope. It's really cool. We had a great time. But we spent our day at Vizcaya, and then we went to our Airbnb, and then like we took like a quick nap and then got ready to go out for the night. So at no point were we able to like network for the night that we were gonna have. So we weren't able to like meet people and be like, oh, okay, like we know that if we go here, this person has a section here, that person has a section there. We didn't get to do all that. So, and then we also, neither one of us know anyone in Miami. So we get to Story and we get in line, which I'm like, ugh. We both, honestly, we're both cringing because we just not like stand in line type of girls. Like, I am not trying to be cocky or anything like that, but literally, like, I live in New York. I can't tell you the last time I paid to get into anywhere, stood in a line for anything. Every time I step out here, it's always like I know someone who already has a table, and that's the way that I like to go out. If I don't know anybody who has a table, I'm probably not coming. And if I do come, it's on some like have fun with my girls, we're getting lit, we're gonna end up at somebody's table anyway type vibes. So we get the Story, we stand in line, and we get up to the front, y'all. Why? So when we're in line, we're thinking, again, I literally my whole time in New York have not, yeah, honestly, legit, my whole time in New York I haven't paid to get into anywhere. So but from what I do know of what I think it would cost to get into places up here, New York is not expensive. For New York to be the most expensive city to live in the US, partying in New York is not expensive. So when you party up here, like, it might cost you 20, 30 to get in, but most places, like, you literally can just walk in, or you can just show them that you follow them on Instagram and you get in or whatever. Like, New York is not a you pay to party type of place. We get to the front, y'all. Why is it $100 to get in the Story? And when we were in the line, we had both been saying like, oh, you know, we're thinking like, oh, it can't be more than, maybe it'll be like $40, 70 max, whatever. 70's pushing it, but we're thinking like it'll be in that ballpark. 100? 100? This better be worth every penny to pay $100, y'all. We get in there and the vibe was giving like, it was just giving young college white kid party, if you ask me personally. And honestly, I had been looking up and down TikTok for the black places to party in Miami because that's what we were trying to avoid. We were trying to go somewhere where it's gonna be like our type of party, our type of people. The music was horrendous. The music was horrible. The DJ was ass. Mind you, this is a Saturday night. So boom, we go, we get drinks, and then we start walking around because we're like, we're cute girls. We know that if we walk around, we'll get into a section and we won't have to stand. And that was always the plan from literally the moment that we paid our 100. That was always the plan. That was the plan from the moment we decided to breathe air in the Miami streets, was to get into somebody's section. So so we're walking around, we're drinking our drinks, and this guy is like, he's like passing me briefly, but he looks at me, he's like, you mad pretty. And I'm like, thank you. And he's like, we have a section, come with me. So I'm like, okay, bet. This is exactly what we was banking on. So myself and Yin, we follow him upstairs to the section because Story has 2 floors. So we go upstairs with him. Well, honestly, technically it kind of low-key has 3. But the second portion isn't, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's 3 levels but 2 floors. You just have to go there to know what I'm talking about. And so he's on the second level or whatever. So we go into his section and we're just drinking, we're having fun, we're partying. The section smells like throw up. Me and Yin keep on saying somebody threw up in this section. Like, we know that somebody threw up in this section, but we can't see it nowhere. We looking around, but we can't see it, but we can smell it. So we like, So we drink our drinks, they get bottles or whatever, we, you know, throwing back shots, dancing, whatever. But then we're like, okay, we're gonna walk around and see who else has a section, because the point is never to stay in one random person's section the whole night. Is to scope the scene and see how many different sections you can get in with different groups of people, mingle, whatever, network, talk. It's more fun that way. So we go up to the second floor. Well, I guess for the sake of this, I'll call it the third floor. So we go to the third floor. We're up there and we're walking, and this girl sees me and she stops me and she's like, hey, I have a section, I'm here by myself, like I don't have any friends here with me, which should have been a red flag. I don't know why. I would love to say it was the liquor, but it really wasn't the liquor, because I'm not one of those people that get drunk and get incoherent. I'm always still very vigilant. I'm still aware of what's going on. I'm aware of my surroundings, all that stuff. So it wasn't the liquor. I don't know what in this case made me not see the fact that you are here by yourself as a red flag on your birthday. Because she was like, it's my birthday, I'm here. Basically, she was like, it's my birthday, I'm here with this guy. She was from South Carolina. She's like, I'm here with this guy and we're doing kind of like a vacation, but it's my first time hanging out with him. So I'm like, I should have, in my head, everything she was saying should have been a big walking red freaking flag. But I'm like, yeah, let's go. Where my head be at sometimes, I don't know. So myself and Yin, we go over to her section, and according to, because Yin said that the girl told her that the girl bought the bottle, so not the guy that she was with. So that's why I'm saying her section. And it was her birthday. So when we get over there, there is the guy that she came with, that she's on her trip with, is asleep in the section. So myself, Yin, and the girl, I'll call the girl, I'm gonna call her Brownie, because for some reason that's the first thing that popped in mind. So myself, Yin, and Brownie, we are in the section and we are just like, we're drinking, we're taking shots, we're dancing, we're having fun, we're having a good time, we're watching the scene from the top piece, whatever. Cool. And the guy that Brownie came with is asleep and he has one arm in a sling. I feel like that will make sense later. He is knocked out in the club drunk. So again, I'm observant, so when I look over, I'm like, oh, this makes you look like it just wasn't given. So we're doing our thing. The guy wakes up. I'm gonna call him stank because his breath was stinking. Okay, like his breath was stinking. He was sweaty. He was just gross looking. Like everything about him was just gross and just bum, lame energy. Like it was just ill. So Stank wake up and he immediately, I guess, sees my friend Yin, because she a bad bitch. Okay, period, she's a baddie, and he is like trying to, I guess, like touch on her and flirt with her and talk to her, all this other stuff. But Yin is very much so blunt, and she's very about her boundaries, and you just not gonna be touching on her and stuff like that. It's just like, ugh. So she let him know, like, ew, like don't be touching on me. So she had said something to me too. She was like, ew, like he keep on touching on me, da da da, do. So when she said something to me, I'm like, at this point I'm standing in between herself and Stank. And I think Brownie was like behind us, like Brownie's like pouring shots or whatever. So I'm in between the two of them. And in my head I'm thinking, because you know sometimes like you can diffuse the situation by kind of cracking, like you can kind of play gay with your friends and diffuse the situation when it comes to like these aggressive men. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to be able to do, because it's always worked in the past. So I look at him because he's like trying to touch on her some more, and I jokingly am like, you keep on trying to touch on my girl, like why you keep on trying to touch on her, da da da, like, and I'm cracking a joke. why he get serious and start like trying to like buck up on me, like trying to go back and forth with me, but like basically trying to like buck up on me type ish. And mind you, he's also like a good 5'11", 6 foot. Why are you trying to buck up on me? I'm 5'2", bro, and I'm a whole female. Like, why are you trying to buck up on me? So he's doing that or whatever, and the way that he got aggressive, I immediately go into defense mode. Like, I stopped joking and I'm like, oh, because now you got me messed up. So myself and him start going back and forth. We're exchanging words. It's getting heated, and he's just saying all type of disrespectful stuff, and I'm just like, first off, your breath stink. Secondly, you're a bum and you're broke. You're in this section that's far away from everything else, because literally if you go in the story, you can tell the lit niggy section. That's what I'm gonna say, instead of saying, I got a friend, she be saying niggies instead of with the A at the end or whatever. So that's what I'm gonna say for the sake of YouTube, because I'm trying to make my content less harsh words so y'all can listen at work. So you can tell the lit niggies sections, and then where they kind of put people that don't really have money like that, you can just tell it. The third floor area where we were was not popping. It was nobody over there. It was like maybe 2 sections on that, in that whole area. It was not like a you a baller if you over here. It was not giving that. So, and then at the time too, because at this time I didn't know that it was the girl section. I thought it was his section. I thought he was trying to show off or whatever. So mind you, you also have it was like a Grey Goose and Don Julio. You did not buy no big boy bottles. Like, please stop acting like you were over here with 3 bottles of Ace of Spades and a Clase Azul in 1942. That is not what this section is giving. Like, please don't act like you is like that, Nikki, because you're not. So he is like, he going back and forth with me or whatever, and again, breath stinking. So I'm like, basically like, chill out, get up off me, get out my face. And we're going like, it's heated. He's like, well, y'all can get the F out of my section, whatever. So I'm like, that's fine, I don't care. We'll leave your section. Like, I literally don't care. Like, you is not doing nothing by kicking us out of this lame ass section. So when he says that, he says it, but then he plops back down in the seat. Mind you, my stuff was in the seat. My purse, my phone was in the seat. So when he plopped down, he's sitting on top of my stuff. Not intentionally. Like, I know me and him was going back and forth, but he did not intentionally sit there. He just wasn't looking. But he was on top of my shit. So I'm like, if you want us to get out of the section, I was like, get off my ish. So he's like, all right, I'll get off your stuff. Just get the fuck out. Just like, basically, just get out. All this other stuff. I'm like, I don't care. So he gets up. He gets off my stuff. I'm grabbing my stuff. As I'm grabbing my stuff, by now Brownie is in between myself and Stank. So, and then Yin is standing off to the side because, you know, she waiting on us to, like, we finna leave the section. So I don't know what he said. I just remember it was so disrespectful. He was calling me everything but a child of God, y'all. When I say I was all types of bitches and hoes and everything. But he said, so I don't know what it was. He said something disrespectful. Just very disrespectful. And then not only that, he also was making me feel like my safety was being threatened, because he's getting buck with me. He's threatening me. He's saying all this type of just wilding. So he said something, but then he bucks up at me again. I said, boom, and I smacked the dog shit out this man. I smack him, and then I walk out the section, and I know that, you know, Yin is behind me walking out the section or whatever, but I'm like I'm walking fast out the section. So I'm walking, and I get a little ways, right? I get a little ways, I turn around, I see Stank is coming up, walking towards me fast. I'm like, bet, I'm about to have to keep fighting this man, because he one of those. Cool, I see what it is. And this is also why I always say in any previous video, like, if I've ever had like an altercation or anything, it's always been with women, because I do not believe in fighting men. You're never gonna win fighting men. I don't believe in fighting men. Fighting men is scary. I don't like it. Don't condone it. I will say I was wrong for smacking him, but he also was bucking up on me like he was finna fight me, like I'm a dude. But naturally, I do not fight men. Like, I'm not one of the people that think that's cute. No, it's never been given that for me. But in this moment, it was just a mixture of, I feel threatened, you are saying stuff to trigger me, you're being very disrespectful, and I'm gonna defend myself. I see him walking up toward me real fast, so I'm like, oh, he one of those, he fight bitches, he one of those. So he literally is like speed walking up to me, and just literally before I can even react, y'all, I ain't even gonna cap, before I can even react, he literally backhands me, bro. I didn't feel anything, and I feel like it was a mixture of the adrenaline. I don't know how to explain it because I didn't fall. So I spin and catch myself on, like, because there's a bar downstairs, but there's a bar upstairs. I catch myself on a bar. Cool. And when I catch myself, I'm like, oh, bet. So by now, Brownie and Yin have walked up. Security is walking up too. I don't remember who was in between me and him at this point, but I do remember I said, boop, and I decked him right in his face. I decked Stank in his face with everything I had. And by then, I think it was security that was in between us by that point, because I deck him and the security is like, how would they're in between us, but they're looking scared, bro. I'm like, why are y'all looking scary? I literally feel like all the like old head security, like the old, like the big buff security that's like in they like late 30s 40s and shit, was downstairs, because they had an artist performing this day too. Okay, sorry you guys, my camera overheated on me because, ooh, yay, Sony, they do that. But I was saying they had an artist performing this night, so I feel like they had, instead of having like the older, more experienced, bigger security upstairs and all around the club, they had all the older, more experienced, about that life security downstairs where the artist was, because it was a pretty big artist. And then of course upstairs in the lame section, they had all the punk ass scary security who they were just giving me like young, haven't been doing this job for long, scary. Because when I punched him, and instead of like, how would I, it's like they put themselves in between us, but they weren't actively doing anything to break us up. So like I did that, and then I removed myself. I did that, and then I walked like damn near behind the bar, because at this point I keep on telling y'all, get this man away from me, because he is actively trying to fight me. And I'm like, if I have to, I'll be back here with behind the bar with this bartender, and if he wants to get me, we just gonna tear y'all whole bar up, because y'all aren't doing shit to stop this man from pursuing me. If he really, like, I feel like if he would have been putting up more of a fight, there would have been nothing that would have been done to like stop him from coming at me, because the security that was upstairs was acting scary. They literally, when I looked and seen their faces, they looked like deer in headlights. They looked scared, like they didn't know what was going on, they didn't know what to do. And I'm like, get this man away from me and get him out the club. So they're like, you know, they're telling him, they're like, oh, you know, come with us or whatever, we're gonna go downstairs so that we can get both sides of the story. I'm like, both sides of the story? What do you mean both sides of the story? There is a 6-foot man trying to fight me as a female, as a 5'2" woman. Like, what do you mean both sides of the story? Because if this would have been in New York, if this would have been honestly any other place down south, shit, even Charlotte, where I'm from, they would have kicked him out so quick. It would not have been no, oh, we need to find both sides, whatever. As soon as they would have seen a grown man smack a female, he would have been kicked out. So they're like, oh, you know, we gotta get both sides of the story. So they take us all downstairs. So myself, Yin, Brownie, Stank, they take Stank first, and then they're like, you know, y'all need to come with us too, whatever. And they take us to like this, this little back office area downstairs where I guess they do all their like, you know, checkouts and like all their office shit with the club. And mind you, the whole trip in Miami had been giving, or the whole Florida trip was given very much so colorist, color struck. If you are not one of the Latina girls, we really don't want to hear nothing you have to say. We'll do it, whatever. It was very much so giving that, because when we got down into that office They were not trying to hear nothing I was trying to say. And I know it would have helped my case if I would have started crying. And I'm honestly very sensitive, but in this case, I don't know, I wasn't crying in this case. So I feel like it would have helped my case if I would have cried, but it just wasn't one of those. I wasn't feeling it, so I wasn't crying. And security is like, oh, you know, so what happened? Whatever. I'm telling them what happened. They're like, well, you know, you need to calm down. I'm like, calm down. I'm telling you, this man smacked me in my face. This man has actively been trying to fight me upstairs, and you talking about I need to calm down. So I'm going back and forth with them, whatever. They're not trying to hear nothing I'm trying to say, because literally it was giving, all they were seeing, and mind you, all the security was black men, but it was giving mad angry black women, we don't want to listen to you. And you're not crying. Because if I would have been a white girl or one of the Latina girls, they definitely would have taken everything I was saying way more seriously. But they weren't trying to hear me. A lot of people are only shown light-skinned, white presenting Hispanic people. So everybody has this, well, a lot of people have this idea in their head that if you don't look like that, there's no way you could be Hispanic, which is very colorist, very futurist, and it is extremely dismissive and insulting to Afro-Latino people and Afro-Latina people, because everybody acts like they just don't exist. People understand that they look as black as me and blacker than me and be full-blown from South America and only speak Spanish. So people get that up here. When you go to Miami, it's a lot of Argentinians, Colombians, and they tend to be lighter skin and more white presenting. So when you go to Miami, everybody acts as though if you don't look like the stereotypical, if you don't look more Eurocentric Hispanic, they act like you couldn't possibly be Hispanic. So when we were down in Miami, people would like, first off, they would only attempt to talk to Yin in Spanish. They wouldn't even attempt to talk to me in Spanish. They would address her first, and they would all just kind of act like, honestly, they was acting like I didn't exist. It's like, oh, you're not Spanish, I don't want to talk to you. So that's what it was given. And then the guys down there was also given very much so like color struck, colorist niggas. And that's what it was given in story. That's what the staff in story with the security was giving as well. So my friend Yin, who is very light-skinned and very racially ambiguous, she peeped that that's what was going on. And that's how I know I'm not tripping, because even she peeped that she could use her privilege in that moment to make them hear her out, you know, to make them hear what we were saying. So Yin speaks up, and she is like, you know, telling them what happened, because they literally, I'm the one that got hit, but they're not trying to listen to me tell them what happened. So Yin has to start telling them what happened. So while Yin is telling them what happens, they're not talking over her, they're letting her speak. So she's like telling them what happened, whatever, and they're listening to what she's saying. But as soon as they peeped that her story aligned with mine and was the exact same as mine, all of a sudden it's, oh, well, you gonna say whatever because you're her best friend. What? Are you serious right now? So they're not trying to listen to Yin at that point either. So then they go to Brownie, and Brownie is sitting in between me and Yin on the couch they have us all on. Well, I'm standing because I'm hot. So I'm like, and I mean hot as in like I'm mad, so I'm standing. Brownie proceeds to try to like stay neutral, or like, I don't know, like she was just, Brownie trying to stay neutral, being scary little op bitch. So Brownie's like, oh, well, I didn't really see what happened. I don't know. Like, I just, you know, this is my first time hanging with him, but I didn't really see what happened. I don't know. So myself and Yin, we looking at Brownie like, girl, fuck you mean you don't know? Yin looks at Brownie, and Yin is like, Brownie, you need to tell them what you saw, because you know that you saw what happened, because you yourself and I walked up and seen it at the same time. You saw what happened, and they're relying on your story because they're not gonna believe me because I'm her friend, and they're not trying to hear her out. So the only person right now who they're gonna listen to is you. Tell them what you saw. Brownie trying to play stupid, like trying to act like she didn't know what happened, what went on. So they're like, you know, so then they back to me. They're like, well, what do you want us to do? Well, you know, we can call the police, da da da, woo. I said, well, call them. Call somebody who gonna do something, since y'all not gonna do shit. Call somebody who gonna do something. The police come. They acted scary too. I'm like, what is up with all these scary folk working tonight? Why everybody looking like deer in headlights, like they don't know what to do? Why did you sign up for this job, sir, if you're... The police is acting scary too, and the police also is not really trying to hear what I'm trying to say. They're like, oh, what do you want us to do, da da da, do you want to press charges? I'm like, no, because I'm from New York, this man is from South Carolina, we are in Miami, nobody is flying back for this raggedy ass court date. Just kick him out the club. Kick him out. He does not need to be in here. Get him out of here. So they still like bullshit and parlaying for a second, but then eventually the police escort him out. So myself, Yin, and Brownie, we still in that back room. Basically, Yin and then the security is also telling Brownie, like, you probably don't need to go back to the hotel with that guy, because he's clearly violent. He puts his hands on women and he's upset right now. So they like, you know, asking Brownie what she want to do, whatever. Why Brownie is on the couch talking about something, well, you guys, I still talking to myself and Yin. She like, well, I still have the bottle, like, you guys, like, let's just go back up and drink, like, we can go back up and keep drinking, we can keep partying. I still want to hang out with y'all tomorrow, because before all this transpired, before Stank even woke his stank breath ass up, myself and Yin had been telling Brownie about how we were gonna find a brunch somewhere the next day, which would have been that Sunday in Miami. We were gonna go to brunch. So Brownie's like, oh, you know, I'll come out too, da da da, like, I don't have nobody down here with me, cool. So you know, she's saying that, whatever, cool. So when all this transpired, why Brownie is on the couch, I'm like, I really hope that we can all still hang out tomorrow. I'm not hanging out with you, you op-ass bitch. Hang out? We can still hang out. Why would I go anywhere with you? You basically just seen your little friend, your little stank, broke-ass, bummy, arm-in-a-sling-ass friend done hit me in my face. You over here trying to act like you ain't see what happened because you trying to play neutral, and you think that we would go hang out with you tomorrow? Because she said it several times, y'all. She was like, oh, I hope we can all still hang out tomorrow. I still want to hang out with y'all tomorrow. I'm like, you oppity op-ass, oppity oppity op-ass bitch. No. And by then, me and Yin are both over it, and we both told her, we're like, girl, we are not about to keep partying with you. Like, no. We don't suggest you go back to that hotel or whatever with him, but we not fucking with you either. So Brownie ends up leaving, and I guess like she had ended up calling a hotel before she left to let them know that like she didn't want him in her hotel room anymore, to like, I guess, to tell them to like take his stuff out, and then to make sure that somebody was gonna be there to escort her back in the building. So we so Brownie ends up, you know, she leaves. The guy, they're like, you know, you need to make sure that he's not waiting out there for you, whatever we do. She called a hotel, whatever, cool. So we end up, and mind y'all, during this whole ordeal, there was only 2 members of the entire security staff at Story that were trying to hear out myself and Yin, working with us and not acting like we was just like, oh, like, shut the fuck up, you black bitch. There were only 2 of them that were acting like they had some sense on their head. It was this lighter skinned older black man, I think his name was like Kino or something, and then it was this like middle-aged, I guess middle-aged is still older, but I don't know, he was like middle-aged. He had a beard, he was chocolate, he had a beard, and then like the fuckboy haircut. Like, it was like heavy on the top, but like the sides were tapered. Those were the only 2 that was like working with us, that was trying to hear us out, that was working with us. Everybody else was kind of acting like they was acting mad punani, and they were acting very much so, I don't want to listen to anything you have to say because you're not white and you're not a Hispanic girl. So boom, that was that Saturday night.
Editing Cherry here again because I clearly be fucking up. I am about to put the footage from the first time I told this story in order to give you guys the nail salon portion of the story, even though that defeats the purpose, because the whole entire purpose of me re-recording this was because I hate the angle and everything about the first time I told this story, which is why I recorded this again. But in my re-record, I completely forgot to include the nail salon portion. So, yeah, I'm just gonna suffer through the pain of letting you guys see me look like a greasy donut in the name of giving you all a great quality content story. So enjoy me looking like a Krispy Kreme donut. And telling you about my racist nail salon experience. Thanks.
All my nails were effed up after this, so I got my nails done this ugly baby. I don't even do baby pink. This is the most, this is the color. I don't know if y'all can see it. This is the color of girls that go into TJ Maxx, into Ross, into Marshalls, and buy them little tacky signs that go all around their apartments. If y'all know, you know. This is the color of the girls on Pinterest that literally wear them little ugly booties that I cannot stand, and they be wearing them booties with dresses and wear them with jeans, and they wear them with every outfit. They're the ugliest shoes known to man. I don't feel like those shoes ever should have been created. They should not exist. This is the color that them girls be wearing. It gives baby girl. It gives, I like to go to Nashville and drink beer, and the highlight of my whole year is a country concert. That's what this color is giving. But anyway, I go and I, you know, all that happens, whatever. Me and Bria like, wow, that was a crazy night. We'll do whatever. Y'all, why do I go to the nail salon to get my nails fixed? First off, the nail tech was racist and extremely rude. And it was a guy, it was a Vietnamese guy. I go into this nail salon, and what was it called? It was called like 305 Spa Nails Miami something. I go in there and I'm like, hey, I need a nail fix. Because mind you, all the paint is chipped off my nails. I have a broken nail, so it's just my hand is looking mad ugly. And I'm just like, I just want a polish change and a nail fix, a gel polish change, nail fix, whatever. I go in there and he's like looking at my nails, and first off he's like, oh yeah, that's nasty, that's nasty, and he's saying it loud. I'm like, y'all always do this shit. You be saying shit, mad disrespectful shit, and then you say it loud, and it's just like, for what? Why are you doing the most? Mind you, when I went to nail salon, I was so tired, y'all. This is day 5 of a trip where I've been going non-stop and had a cold the whole entire trip. I go in there, he's being racist. I'm just like, I just need my nails, I just need my polish changed, I need my nail fixed. Because at this point, they were the last nail salon open, and I can't go and audition at none of these spots with no busted nails. I'm trying to go audition at these spots, so I just need my nails fixed. So I sit down, he sits me down in the chair, you know, I get to, you know, he's doing his thing or whatever. It comes time for me to pick my color. I wanted an off-white. I was just wanted an off-white or something just really light and nude. I don't do color, I like nudes. Why does he tell me when I show him the color I want? The first 2 colors I want. The first color was like this, like really soft, almost like iridescent kind of see-through pink. And then the second one was the off-white. We used to call them the cum nails at my shop. He's like, oh honey, no, like you too dark for that, you too dark for that, you color your color, you too dark, saying it loud. And then he's like, you wear makeup? And I didn't go to the nail shop with makeup, but he was asking, I didn't have no makeup on, but he was asking if I wear makeup. He's like, you wear makeup? If you wear makeup, no, it's the makeup's gonna get on your nails, it turn yellow, that nasty. And he's saying it loud. I'm looking like, so do you tell all the black people that come in this salon that they can't get white nails because if they wear makeup, their makeup will get on their nails and their nails are gonna look nasty? Do you tell all the black clients that they're too dark to get white nails? What the at this point, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all, I didn't even argue back with him because I'm just like, I am so exhausted. I'm sick as hell. My body is crashing. I just fought last night. I just want my nails fixed so I can go to these clubs tomorrow and make some money. That's all I want. I didn't even argue back with him. I'm just like, I literally visibly was just like, I was just trying to calm down. I was just like, you know what, not today. I was like, I don't like any of those other colors, because the colors he was suggesting were ugly ass colors. He was like, no honey, you dark, you need color like this, you need color like this. He's pointing out these ugly grandma ass sparkly burgundy reds, old church burgundy reds with these ugly ass sparkles. Then he pointed to this ugly ass silvery sparkly color. I don't do colors, I only do nudes. He's pointing to all these ugly ass colors, and I'm just like, I don't like any of those colors. I just want one of these. He's like, oh no, too dark, too dark. So I'm like, you know what, I point to the baby pink, because I'm just like, I just want a color that's light and not dramatic. Just give me that one. So he does it, but I'm just like, just the fact that he said all that super rude, racist stuff, and then was saying a lot. I'm like, and then my thing too, like when it comes to them saying rude or racist stuff to you, they always insult you like out of this world. And then once they peep that you feel some type of way or irritated, then they try to start a conversation with you. So he gonna try to like, he gonna wait a couple seconds, not really say anything, because I wasn't really saying anything the whole time either. So I'm sitting there and I'm not saying anything. I'm in my phone, because I'm like, why would he even say that? And he says, I think he said like, oh yeah, this color pretty, like this color nice, this gonna look good on you, da, da. And he had asked me like a question or something. I can't remember what it was, but he had asked me something, like trying to create conversation, and I was just being like mad dry, because I'm like, I don't want to talk to you, you're very rude. And then I go to pay, and it was $37 for a polish change and a nail fix. I'm like, not me paying almost basically $40 for you to change my polish and fix one nail. But I didn't care. At that point, I was just like, I literally don't care. It's Miami. I figured it was gonna be up there. I don't care. I just give him the money, whatever, I leave. The rest of my Miami trip, I ended up doing 3 days solo. So during the 3 days that I did solo, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to dance while I'm out here. So I brought all my dancer stuff with me, and I went to 2 different clubs, and my mission this time was to go to like non-urban clubs, because I'm spoiled now and I like working in clubs. It's just easier, you make more money, bigger bills, less drama. I won't name them because these are clubs that I still want to possibly work at in the future. The first club I went to was a club that apparently pretty hard to get into in Miami, and you can just tell like the type of clientele, like upscale, money. It's cute on the inside, whatever, like it was nice. So I go to that club or whatever, I get ready to audition, and as I was getting ready to audition, there was another girl that was being told no. Mind you, the girl that was being told no looked like she was a Hispanic girl, and she was mad pretty. So I'm like, and I was the only black girl in this whole establishment when I went to go audition. I was the only black girl in that whole place. So when I seen everybody else was Latina, so when I seen them tell her no, and she looked like what they would normally go for, I was like, ooh, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I was a little nervous, because I'm like, Miami's already giving me very, like, it's giving me very colorist. I don't know if they gonna F with your girl. I'm the only black girl in here. Face card don't miss. So we just gonna hope that that is the case this time too. So they told that girl no, because she was mad pretty, so I'm very surprised. Told her no, I go up there, I audition, they effing with me. So I'm like, oh, period. But they have another, the hiring manager who makes the final call was not there when I went, of course. So I went on a Tuesday, he only being there on Mondays. I'm like, and mind y'all, the Tuesday I went, because I was leaving early Wednesday morning, I was literally going to work, run up my bread, and then go straight to the airport from work. Which I knew that for the right price, I knew that I was more than likely going to end up just missing the flight and just booking another flight. But I was also willing to do that. I was like, that's fine, I don't care. But they ended up, you know, they were like, oh, you know, when do you come back? And she was like, this club, the house mom was telling me, the house mom was really nice. She was like, the manager wants you to speak to another guy who, again, he makes the final call. So she was like, he wants you to speak to him, which is a really good sign, because this club, she was telling me, she was like, this club is very hard to get into. So if he wants you to speak to him, then basically like you good type ish. I'm like, oh, I'm from out of town. She's like, well, she was like, so what does that mean for you? Like, when are you gonna be here next? I'm like, I'd be back and forth, but not like, girl, y'all, I'm not spending a block in Miami no time soon. Like, I don't know the next time I'm be in Miami. So she ended up just being like, you know, next time you come back down here, just, you know, make sure you come on a Monday so you can talk to him, we'll do it, whatever. So I was like, you know what, that was actually a good sign. I was not mad at that. I left very happy because of the fact that I have heard from multiple people, because a lot of the girls from Miami also come up here and they dance in New York. And I've heard from multiple people about this specific club being hard to get into. So the fact that they were even with me, I was heavily flattered. And I'm not even gonna lie, I killed that audition. I really did. So then I went to this other club that is also really popular, that isn't necessarily like directly in Miami. It's in Hollandale. The girls, according to what everybody be saying, they make a lot of money. But they always be full. And I'm like, when do y'all be hiring? Because they'll always be full.
Editing Cherry here yet again. I said I wasn't going to name the clubs, but actually one of them I am going to name because they're giving me colorist, racist vibes. And I am just about to expose it because I've been to this club twice now to try to get hired. The last summer when I was in Miami, and then also this past time in Miami. I've seen them hire multiple girls in between. I've seen the type of girls that work there. And I actually just saw on TikTok, they hired a lighter skinned black girl, maybe 2 weeks after they told me that they were full, which is the answer they always give me. They don't even let me audition or anything. They just always say, oh, we're full. But then I see them hired. If it's white girls, they'll let them audition. If they look, you know, racially ambiguous or mixed, they'll let them audition. So I'm honestly just getting the feeling that they don't like dancers darker than the color of the paper bag, especially if they have tattoos, regardless of the fact that they're white dancers, be tatted, like super tatted. Because the light-skinned black girl that I seen them hire 2 weeks after me on TikTok was saying that they almost didn't hire her and originally said that she couldn't work because she had braids in. So I will try to see if I can find a screenshot of that TikTok so y'all can go watch it. But she was basically saying that Scarlett's Cabaret did not want to let her work because she had braids. Racist much? And multiple people that I've now been seeing on TikTok say the same thing, that they are racist, which makes perfect sense.
I honestly left both those like very happy because I was like, they didn't dub me. And when it comes to clubs that like aren't urban clubs, as a black dancer, like it can always go left. So I was actually really happy that neither one of them dubbed me and they were effing with me. But all in all, it was not a bad trip. Compared to other trips I've been on to Miami, it could have been worse. But I do feel like Miami is a portal for demonic activity. Shit always goes wrong in Miami. People always leave Miami not being friends no more. It's always some type of just like, it's just very low vibrational energy that just is in Miami. I feel like Miami's a portal. But that is my story, you guys. Don't be out here fighting these men, because you never know who gonna fight back. And it's just not worth it. Like, these guys are crazy and they're already dangerous enough without swinging on them. So yeah, just don't do like me.